So I have been struggling with trying to grow my hair out. I'm naturally a dark brown brunette, and I have been coloring my hair since I was 15 years old. And I just got sick of coloring my hair every 3 weeks. It started to creep up to be every 2 weeks. And being 56 and very conscious of my appearance because it matters. I work full time and everybody else is 40 or younger where I work. I've got one or two compadres that are my age, a little bit older, but that's it. It seems like the end of 40 crowd are running the show. So I'm trying to stay relevant. So I'm doing my own skincare, and then I thought about my hair. Now it seems counterproductive to do gray and let it go gray, although if you notice, it's very trendy right now. It's actually been trendy for a number of years, so I'm not sure if it's on the crux of the tail end of the trend, but I am going to say one of the things that I just don't like is the heavy metals that are even in henna. There's some minerals in henna that are not good for you. As a matter of fact, as a hairdresser, as a cosmetologist, one of the things about permanent, semi-permanent hair color is formaldehyde. Formaldehyde is carcinogenic. Also, because peroxide can open up the follicle of the hair, it can also open up the follicles in the skin. And so it's very easy to absorb some of that. It's tough to get through that, the layers of your skin, the stratum corneum and the horny layer and all that stuff. It is very difficult to get through that. However, chances are, and it has been out there in some theory and some research that people with consistent use, hairdressers, do have a greater propensity for developing cancer. And it's not in my family. We're on the other spectrum with diabetes and heart disease and whatnot. But my grandmother and my sister both grew out their hair. Beautiful gray, beautiful salt and pepper. I can't really say enough. My sister used to call herself Lucius Malfoy. And I thought it was cool. I liked it. I've always been a punk rock kind of girl. And so, having two-toned colored hair, intense, vibrant hair color from the full range of purple and eggplant and blue and red, even blonde, like a white blonde, was always something I've always done. But the thing is I've never stopped coloring my hair and always using a type of color that involved formaldehyde product that contained 40% developer and so on. So when I went ahead and looked at some of the research online and chased down some of the hairdressers that actually have their own channels and people that actually do shows, I came across Malibu C CPR. And, there are some home remedies that you can do using crushed up vitamin C tablets and just dish soap, And I went ahead and got it. It's cheap enough, right, at Cosmo Prof. I don't think Sally carries it. They carry another type of color remover. I like this product because you can handle it with your hands. You don't have to worry about getting it on your skin. Basically, it's kaolin clay and vitamin C with water. So there's no developer. I put it on. You follow the directions. You have to keep it heated. Now, I do not have a full-on bonnet style hair dryer. I used a heating pad and a blow dryer with my hair wrapped up in a plastic hairnet, one of those like pull on with the elastics around it. And then I wrapped it in a towel to also secure in some heat and left it on for 45 minutes. And within the first 10 minutes, I could smell the heavy minerals coming out of my hair. It reminded me of my mother who had smoked. And if I would walk into her house after being outside or at somebody else's house who did not smoke, you walk into that house and that chemical smell would hit you. Whatever that is, maybe it's carbon monoxide, whatever that smell is, it did not smell good. And I noticed right away that was the exact same smell that was coming off of me. And that put it forefront in the reality of what I plan to do with the next half of my life. So I said, you know what? I'm going to lay off coloring my hair. And I went ahead and I am on my fourth treatment, now I spread them out on Sundays, and then I would follow up with some Olaplex 1 and 2, did treatments with that. That's a whole other thing, how you have to do an Olaplex treatment, but since I'm a hairdresser, I know how to use the Olaplex. So I will say that that did, and spacing it out over the period of 4 weeks, helped to keep the condition solid. And I was due for a haircut. Now I did find one of the best hairdressers. As a hairdresser, you're so critical, but you don't want to be, and you don't want to tie a person up with your own criticism. And so you tend to be one or two ways, either ultra picky or very, ambivalent. So I take the road of ambivalence, and I'm just like, sure, whatever, go ahead, do whatever you, just this much and that, and then just go, don't dry it. You don't even have to wash it. Just, try not to be, it's very passive. It's kind of a passive thing because you want to let them drive the bus, So I found somebody that cut my hair the way my first boss used to cut my hair. And my first boss I had when I was 15 years old. So I'm 56. So all of the other hairdressers I have had have never really come close to what my former boss used to do. I had one, but he packed up and moved to, the Italian Riviera. Sold his business, sold the building that his business was, took the money and ran back to Europe. But he was very conservative in cutting and coloring my hair, which is not a bad thing. But it wasn't something that I walked out of going, that was the best haircut. It was a really good haircut. And then I ended up getting my haircut someplace else. In between, I would trim my own hair, which I don't recommend. I mean, you can do it and get away with it for certain things here and there, but I think it's always better, and it's a nice feeling and a treatment for yourself. It's a real treat to have somebody wash, scrub your hair. Who doesn't love a good shampoo? Get a really nice conditioner, use really great products, have somebody meticulously go through your hair and cut it and spend that time with you and talk with you and get to know your head. This person, this guy, Javier, figured it out within 10 minutes, and we're talking. And wouldn't you know it, we're like 4 days apart in birthdays. We're the same age. He's fabulous. And who doesn't love fabulous people? And got it, figured it out. And I left there, even though we played around with it and did some curls with a flat iron and whatnot, I could have walked out of there with my hair wet and finger dried it and just have been as equally as happy. I got so many compliments coming out of that salon over the next period of week. And then we went into shut down. So I was working from home with my real job. And so I just kept it up, and I didn't really wash it all the time. I never blow dried it, never put anything to it. And I let it grow out. And I was going through this process of now growing out my hair. So you can see I got about 1.25 inches worth of growth. So for me, my hair grows pretty quick. Usually on the scale, a person's hair grows 1/2 inch a month. So it's right about 6 weeks since the last color. And then of course I have been removing the color using products. So that being said, he cut my hair. It is a beautiful haircut. I absolutely love it. I tipped him way too much, but that's me, that passive sort of thing. But, I will say that I love a good haircut, and it's few and far between. So when you find a hairdresser and you love it. So in the meantime, we are just discussing how do you get through this stage. It's really hard unless you chop your hair off and go with the pixie, unless you bleach it blonde to a white blonde, and then you start to tone it, and then you put color in it, or balayage. And it can be not only really, really expensive, it can also ruin your hair. And if you apply heat to it, after so many treatments with Olaplex and whatnot, you can still have breakage and still have really awful looking ends and flyaways. So I opted not to do that. So I am opting for a grow out with the potential to do some foils. But I want to get another 2 to 3 months of grow out before I even get there. So it will be 3 times as long as this in 3 months. So I'll be in a good place where I can then add some foils, say, to the front. I'm also looking at staggering some of those foils with different colors. So it could be dark ash blonde, it could be a chrome, it could be some brunette again. So trying to mix in some of that salt and pepper with what is now like an auburn to a ginger. In the back of my head, I don't know if you can see that, but in the back of my head, it doesn't necessarily have this brightness of this white. It's actually more salt and pepper, if not like sort of a sable and white kind of thing happening. So obviously I can't really see the back of my head all the time. So I'm just playing around with it, doing some twists. Anything that you can do to sort of offset that look is helpful. So you watch a lot of tutorials, you should try them out. Obviously being, ambidextrous is not something that we can all do. Also, if you're trying to do it in a mirror imaging is really tough to make your hands work while you're looking in a mirror. I usually say, don't look in a mirror. Don't do it. Just, be in your bathroom, but face away from the mirror and just let your hands be your eyes and give it a shot. And so I just played around with this. I teased a little bit at the top with the tease and brush, and then I did some twists along the sides, and I put a barrette in the back, and then I did a French twist with one of those sock hangers. They have like a long bar and they come back and it's off a little curly cue, and they don't damage the hair. So I grabbed it, wrapped it up, and I'm pretty happy with that. Obviously, I'm not going to zigzag the part because the part can be kind of 90s and dated. I'm not putting little clips in it or, pretty little, barrettes. I mean, that's kind of outside of I'm way past that. So, yeah, I'm not going to zigzag. Although he suggested it and did it like a short zigzag. I have way too many cowlicks. I have like 3 cowlicks from the front of my, right here. You can see that one. That one is pretty obvious. But I have another one right here, which is why I chose to do the bump here. And then I have another one on the back of my head. So, not only do I have straight hair, battling this color process, but also I have cowlicks. So play up makeup. I went and got these frames because I felt like if I'm going to play up my makeup, why am I going to get glasses that cover my face? Although some of the frames are wicked cool. I am going to say that I find that since I've had my eyebrows microbladed and I tint the grays, I like the offset of that. I think it helps frame the face and give you more youthful. It can take 10 to 15 years off of you if you have a thicker brow. So that's my story, and I will keep you posted as to the grow out. I may freak out and have one of those moments where I just can't take it and who knows, color it, because I'm a Sagittarius, I live in the now, and I can make decisions off the cuff and can be blunt at times, a little too honest, but we'll see. And this journey, along with some of the skincare things that I'm going to try and do, I've already experienced doing my own microblading. I've already experienced doing my own threading, my own Inatox. So we'll see. Anyway, the hair saga continues. Take care. Bye.